So we're going to call the meeting to order. It's 6:02. It's Monday, November 25th, 2024, the Woodbury Select Board meeting. And the first thing is any adjustments to the agenda. Hearing none, we're going to move on to the third item, which is to approve the minutes from the November 11th meeting. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion to approve the minutes for the November 11th meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the November 11th meeting notes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
And today is what, the 24th?
Today's the 25th.
25th.
I just missed my sister's
Okay.
birthday, which was the 24th.
Here's the one that you sign and give to Robin, and that's the one for Lizzie.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. All right, there is, next item is public comment. Doesn't appear that we have any public here for public comment, so unless there's somebody else that would like to make a comment in their role as a community member, we'll move on to Robin and the town clerk's report.
I have been working on some final reports for the election. Hopefully I did the last one today, but we'll find out soon. And I also got a call from Ed, the animal control person, that he will be out of commission December 3rd to the 6th.
3rd through the what?
The 3rd to the 6th.
3 days?
He's going to be in the hospital.
Oh, so nice of him to call.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, this is the hazard mitigation plan update, Michael? Did she ask you to, oh, Norm signed that, okay.
Yeah.
$9,256, sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. I'm glad you're doing it.
And right now, the recordings are actually on hold because I cannot find a ribbon for the lovely typewriter.
When you say the recordings, you mean?
The land recordings,
Yeah.
like sell your house to Lizzie.
Yeah.
Did you try eBay?
Mm-hmm.
Did you try the place in Middlesex?
Randy put an order into somebody, they were supposed to be here last Friday. When she checked her email today, they said it's going to be someplace between the 25th and the 29th now.
Oh.
So I finally got the one out of the typewriter and took it to Staples, and they no longer have them.
You guys use a typewriter? Still?
Yeah.
Is that normal?
No, it's really old.
Maybe.
So, there were quite a few old, tapes that came with it, ribbons that came with it, but they probably weren't going to last forever.
They're gone. I don't have
Yeah,
anyone.
right. So, so what was I trying to say? Surplus property. Sometimes they keep old stuff like that.
Is that how other towns do their land recordings?
Well, they have, you can actually print cards on, off the computer if you want. But we've never done that, or at least I never did that.
That's not. No, you don't want to do that. Okay, fair enough.
No, I do want to do that.
You do.
You what? You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to learn how to do them you can buy cards that are suitable for putting in the printer.
Yep.
So
Then that way, if you make a mistake, you can look on the screen, you go back and fix the mistake instead of
Sure.
wasting all of those recording cards.
So what would it take for you to be able to do that?
I would have to have, one of the things I'd have to have is a scanner.
Oh, okay. Skip's working on that though, right? That's part of the package that he put together?
I
Right, scanner?
think so. I will double
Okay.
check with him.
I remember him mentioning the scanner. The new copier, I think, would have scanning capacity.
Yep.
So that's all that's holding us up from not having to use a typewriter?
Am I going to have to take that typewriter back?
Could be a boat anchor.
I don't know where I'm gonna, I could never throw it out,
A lot of
but
times it was on the yellow line.
Woodbury Historical Society.
All right, anything else, Robin?
That's all I've got.
All right, and then everybody's got the treasurer's report. Brandy is not here this evening. You can look at that at your
Did Michael get one of
leisure.
Yes, I do. Oh, no, wait.
You should have one over there.
I do have one, yeah.
okay.
So we can move on to the recovery officer's report. Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, so you should have a handout, page handout.
Yep.
So for item number 1, I'll give you a project that has not changed since we last met. It has changed to item number 2, projects pending environmental and historical review. It's County Road, including County Road extension. So once that runs its way through FEMA processes, Brandy should be receiving a check for $79,284.14. The other 3 projects, 2 of the bridges and town offices in radar speed sign, those are pending hazard mitigation planning. So I had a call from the hazard mitigation officer wondering how we could mitigate the chances of the radar speed sign flooding. So I said, I don't know how you would do. If you want to come out to Woodbury and do a site survey,
To make sure that they don't get flooded again or
knocked over from it.
knocked over.
If I just moved it.
Yeah, it's in the state right away. So I just washed my hands of that. I said, you want to come out and take a look on it?
It is in the state highway, but it's right by the brook. There's one of the brooks that lives in the
That's right.
It's moved away from the brook.
Back this way a little bit.
Yeah.
Away from the wall.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting on documents from Nate to apply for the extension, correct?
Well, I have some documents. I'm going to start with part of my what's to do next. Talk to Nate, see if he's got any further on the RFP, and if he has, if there's, number 1, a scope of work, and number 2, some sort of timeline. So last email he and I shared was a couple of weeks ago, and he just gave me a thumbnail sketch of, I'll probably go out for bid in January, bids come back in February, and work to be completed in October. And I'd like something a little more granular than that. Hopefully in the RFP, it's going to say something a little bit more definitive. But I'll go with what I have, and I have to write it in December. So that's all I have. I'll make do, I guess. But he and I will swap emails before I submit anything to the state. So that's for last year's disaster. For this disaster, we've been pretty busy. We've had 3 meetings in November on the 7th, 14th, and 20th. And on the 7th, we identified the damaged roads. On the 14th and 20th, we determined labor hours by road crew member and damage location. We match Woodbury's road work equipment, the excavators, the front end loader, 10-wheelers, the GoPro, with the new FEMA standards, which increase the actual hourly expense that we can put in for.
Is it more than last year?
It's, the one we used last year was 2021.
Oh,
So this year, or for this disaster, we can use 2023's. We made a mistake of using 2023's specifications for the 2023 disaster, and we were told we couldn't do that.
well, geez, it would have made sense.
So we had to redo all our work. So before we started, we made sure that, which one can we use, so it's the 2023. So with Alfie's help, all through this, we identified materials used to repair damages, including culverts, compiled material costs per ton of cubic yards and culvert costs, uploaded before and after photos of several damaged locations, and scanned the invoices that Brandy had kept in a separate binder for the 2024 flooding. We scanned those invoices for materials from material suppliers and equipment rental dealers, along with proof of payments.
So were you able to use the new copier to do the scanning?
No, I used mine.
Oh, okay.
It's easier, it's just,
Yeah, sure.
it's easier.
Yeah.
And I
But
don't,
but one of the, it was a problem before not having the scanner in the office. But
right.
that about something else?
I don't know, it probably would have taken me more time to learn how to scan on the printer than it took me to update
Yeah.
those things.
Okay.
Plus, I didn't want to get in the women's way, so it was pretty busy. So, state of Vermont update. So Woodbury's point of contact has resigned. A gentleman named Andy Flagg sent out an email last week saying, I've resigned, and contact this person who happens to be a supervisor.
He's not retiring. He just said he resigned.
Right, he's a retired state of Vermont employee.
He's already retired.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
So
I mean,
this
he's
is-
about my age.
So this was just, I shouldn't say just, this was a gig he was doing, making some extra money. So
Sure.
he got fed up with it. So now we're dealing with his supervisor.
Is that Ben?
Pardon me?
Ben Rose?
He's Ken Konarecki.
Oh, okay.
And we learned that consulting firm called Guidehouse will become a point of contact for a date to be determined. So the state of Vermont has outsourced our contact to a consulting. So I have no idea what these folks are like. We have to train them, on what to do. I'm hoping we won't have to train them.
But they, is Guidehouse a Vermont company?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I haven't done an internet search on them.
So,
I don't know. I could search here.
so these are not the. I understood that the state was going to have a consultant just overlook everything, but this sounds like more like they'll be your case managers.
They will. And to your point, Diana, I received an email today, one from our PDMG from FEMA, Program Delivery Manager from FEMA. All of a sudden, out of the blue, they need this recovery scoping meeting, and it has to be before December 12th. So the first we heard that there was a time constraint was at 2:37 p.m. And Jane Wells went on to say, we need to provide damage inventories for that meeting. So she CC'd Ken Konarecki from the state of Vermont, who writes back, please do not upload the DI's damage inventories into the portal. So FEMA wants us to upload it into the portal. The state doesn't want us to upload it into the portal. And she goes on to say the state needs to see these prior to anything being uploaded. And the next sentence, the state is uploading these. So it appears as though FEMA and the state already are talking. So
Already aren't, you said?
are not talking on the same page.
Oh,
The 2023 damage inventories, we uploaded onto FEMA's grants portal, and everything went fine. Now there's an interim step where we have to upload them. I don't know where they go in the state. She didn't say where to upload them in the state. I could dump like 30 of these into her email box and see what she does with them. But that might be a waste of time. So anyhow, they have to get their act together. It's going to drive Danielle and her crazy.
I bet.
We don't like to do things twice. So anyway, we'll sort that out.
Skip, your meeting on December 4th, is that in the meeting room at the office?
Well, We don't know yet.
Want me to just pencil you on
Sure.
it? Okay.
Because they asked to give us several dates and times that you are available. And they will coordinate, FEMA will coordinate with the state. So they'd like to have it in the morning in case they're sending site inspectors or whatever. So as soon as I get a firm commitment from the state and FEMA, I'll let you know.
Okay,
Date and
thanks.
time. But could you pencil it before?
I will.
That'd be great. So it's just a little wrinkle, just a little bureaucratic wrinkle.
Is FEMA's funding or FEMA's processing of all these projects dependent upon the state reviewing? No. So if one entity is telling you to upload and the other is not, you're gonna the federal entity is the one we would listen to,
Well,
presumably.
FEMA has the funds.
Right.
FEMA has, in this case, for 2023, they're paying us 90% of the damages. And the state's kicking out, let's say, like 8.2 or something like that, or 7.5, something like that. So FEMA has the most money.
Right.
So I'll go with who has the most money.
Right.
There you go. And it's also CC the state. They've inserted these people in the middle of things. Really, I don't see why they should be considered. What Danielle and I have done, just move right through. So we don't need any more. And that's looking over our shoulders.
Yeah, the state's the one that's fumbling around here trying to be in the middle.
They are. They're gonna pay someone, maybe someone knows someone in guidance. So what's next? FEMA conference call. When I wrote this report, it was scheduled for December 4th, but it may be got that happen on the 4th.
Okay.
Meeting with Alfie and Danielle on December 4th. That may happen because it's just Woodbury and we don't need anyone from the state.
Okay.
And so lastly, I have to drop those letters applying for a time extension into bridges. And my plan is to submit a draft to Kim Connerecki, have her look it over, if she blesses it, then make a final draft. And if you'd like me to sign it, I could sign it as the employment connection. If the select board wants to sign it, up to you folks. It has to go out on town letterhead, if that makes any difference.
I'm comfortable with you signing that, for sure.
Okay. No, just thought I'd honor because it's on town letterhead.
Well, you're our recovery officer, so.
You have town letterhead, right?
Yes, I do. Not on me, but on the computer. So in a nutshell, that's what we've been doing. The first disaster was just about wrapped up. Very cool. And it'll be a challenge for the next one.
Nice work.
Any questions? And Brandy received a check for $80,000
For what?
So that,
for $80,000 from FEMA.
Oh,
right there.
yeah. And then there's gonna be, that doesn't include this 79,284?
So Woodbury will stand to get a little bit over $300,000 for the 2023 disaster.
And so far, we've received 2/3 of that?
Yeah.
Thanks for making it happen.
Persistent.
What are you gonna do when it's all done?
Anything else? Questions? Appreciate the work, as always. We can move on to Alfred Larrabee's Road Commissioner report.
Okay. we've got our gravel piles all replenished. Trucks are all ready to plow or stand. Completely, I mean, the wings, everything, plows, wings, standers, everything's ready. We very recently started on our shed for the 550.
Oh,
So foundation is in, walls are up, and we put a few rafters up today. So still a ways to go, but if you drive by, you can kind of see what it's gonna look like.
And remind me, that's so that that truck can be filled with salt
Yes,
and doesn't have to, it can be,
it can be outside.
Outside, yeah, and ready to go.
Covered.
yeah,
Because we only use a little bit of salt each time.
Yep.
So rather than having to dump it off every load, every time we put salt on, and then reload it, we can just leave it loaded, and it's undercover. Salt does not want to be wet. It doesn't, it's all chunky. So that's going to help us a lot. The 550 is actually in the shop right now. It's sent down for inspection, and they found some things wrong with it. So hopefully we should be getting that back this week with any luck. So, other than that, sand pile's done. I'm trying to grade in between rain and snow, and now frozen ground.
is it
This
frozen?
is another challenge. Well, when it gets to, 25 degrees, it's frozen.
Yeah,
So a lot of times it does thaw out. If we get a sunny day, it'll thaw out towards the afternoon and we can go fix up some spots, but we're getting very limited for that. And, with the rain and, it's gonna snow, I'm surprised it hasn't more already. Usually we've got snow on the ground before now. Typical years. So we're counting our blessings there. That's all I can think of right now. If there's questions, I'm happy to try to answer them.
I did have one comment from a person who travels Cabot Road regularly that they thought, they were hoping you'd be grading that again.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Last week, Thursday, I think it was going to be the better day to do it, but I had to get plows on. They were talking a chance of snow for over the weekend, and I wanted to be ready for that. So, Cabot Road, it kind of took lesser priority when the snow was in the forecast. I'm going to put the plows together.
Yeah, it was a strange forecast. It was supposed to
Yeah.
rain all weekend and it hardly did.
Right. So now the trucks are all ready. We're just working on that shed in between. There should be more time if we have to get a decent day for the grading.
great. And then Alfie and I tried to catch up this week regarding the
The windshield?
the windshield.
Okay, I wondered if that was what you were
Yep.
gonna bring up.
And I asked Alfie to touch base again with, because stories are like a little bit different with Tim, and we didn't get a chance to talk, but just a summary is fine, I think.
Yeah, well, I did ask Tim again. I told him just to run the whole incident through for me.
Yeah.
And he said that he was on Greenwood Lake Road, right near Wayne Dunlap's house. There's kind of a knoll right there. So Tim said that he was grading, or he was mowing, and he see a car. So he turned the mower off. And this mower doesn't stop immediately. It just continues to coast.
Sure.
And he did say that when he went to pick it up, to swing it out, back out towards the road, he said it did hit the ground a little bit. He said he couldn't tell if a stone hit, kicked up and hit his truck or not. But how could you see? I mean, if the stone coming out of that thing is going to be
Yeah, never gonna see it.
visible.
Yeah.
So He's not saying that it didn't happen, but there was no contact, there was no, you know, the operator of the vehicle didn't try to flag Timmy down or ask him to stop, or there was, according to Timmy, there was none of that. So I wasn't there. So I'm just going by what I'm hearing about the incident.
And then you made an effort after the fact to be in touch.
I did. I
Yeah.
dropped by his house a couple of different times and knocked on the door.
Right.
And not ever meeting him before, I wasn't sure who I was dealing with, so I didn't make too much of a scene knocking on his door. And I knocked 3 times, and then I went back later that day and tried again, and still I couldn't get him to get his attention.
Well, the story that, I don't know where it came from, but was that you had told him that the town would pay for the deductible, but you're now.
That was at a meeting. That discussion happened in this room.
But he wasn't here.
He was not here.
Oh, okay, so that's not true that you didn't offer that.
Somewhere in conversations, he said that there was a $100 deductible and that he wanted the town to pay that deductible.
Oh, I didn't even hear that part.
I, in this room, said, I think we should pay the deductible and
Oh.
put it away.
Okay.
Why did that not get paid? I'm asking, I don't know why.
Yeah, I never heard that.
That was
I don't think I
an
heard that
agreement
part.
here at Select Board.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Was that just at the last meeting you were at when we talked about this, or was this a long time
This was way
ago?
back. I mean, this
Okay.
happened back in June.
I guess I don't remember.
And so sometime after that is when it was brought up here at the meeting. And I suggested, let's just pay the $100 and maybe this issue go away.
So but you've talked to him, and did he mention that? He wanted that?
He didn't specifically mention that. He kind of just left it like, that he.
Has he
had
even
this-
been to the repair place yet?
He hadn't when I talked to him.
Right, so the $100 was before,
Yeah.
as I recall, was before last meeting, not the last meeting, but the last meeting I was here, we talked about this, and you were gonna check with him.
Yeah.
Because a suggestion was made that maybe he could just fill it
Yeah.
for $25
Yeah.
or whatever. So that's where that was, I think, was left. Is he willing to just fill it?
So I did call him. I had a conversation with him. He kind of seemed more interested during the conversation and just telling me what had happened. So we didn't really get to me making suggestions on how he ought to proceed. I pretty much told him at the end that I would talk to everybody and just kind of.
So why don't you contact him again and say, when you get your repair bill done, if there's a $100 deductible, the town will pay it.
Okay.
If that was something that was already offered to him.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Only in this
sure,
meeting.
it was offered to him.
Oh,
It was something we talked about
It was
here.
something
Oh.
talked about here, and I
Okay.
think it just never left this room.
Okay.
I
okay.
think it should have been brought to him and saying, yes, we'll pay the $100 deductible for you, and this would go away.
But
I mean, that seems.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone long enough.
generally, we don't pay for things like that. The town doesn't, unless somebody can prove it, and with the time of day and when the piece of rock fell out of the truck and things like that. And
Yeah.
in order to put in a claim for the insurance, you have to go through a whole rigmarole and have an investigation and stuff like that. But for $100 to make this go away, that would be worth it,
Agreed.
I think. As long as we don't make a habit of it.
Yeah, as long as he's okay with that, as long as he will agree to that.
I can
Well-
check and I would assume that he is.
But he has to get it fixed first and show us
Okay,
what his
so,
deductible is gonna be.
okay.
Yeah,
Needs to be received.
that's
So
a big deal.
what's the documentation that we would want? We would want the bill from the place where they fix it, and then what should I ask for from his insurance?
I guess just what his deductible is or a receipt indicating,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I've had sister-in-laws in hospitals and nursing homes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, this is
Quiet, we're ready for the next season.
Thank you, I did get your messages.
Okay, I just wanted to.
One of these days it's gonna snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Probably not this far off.
Yeah. I've been pushing my luck for sure.
I wrote the roof down there. I was up at Walden.
Yeah.
What the hell? Use the restroom on
Why did I see those fires?
So if you want to take over. But the treasurer should.
Sure.
No, and my sister-in-law's been in the hospital, in the nursing home and in the hospital.
She gonna be okay?
She's home today. We brought her home today.
She's not the one living next to you.
No, it's the one who used to live next to me.
You're cold, Robin? You're cold. You run warm, don't you? I'm like shivering over here.
Set up on
Sorry for the interruption. Should have a little break there. So this was a Jane's letter of resignation from the Lister Board.
Oh,
So.
All right. Well, thanks, Alfie.
Sure.
Yeah, you're willing to hang around to talk a little bit about the budget?
Sure.
All right. Quickly, updates and other business. The treasurer search, it sounds like we have possibly,
And she actually sent an email today asking what the status of it was.
Okay.
If there's any movement in the position.
She sent quite an impressive resume, but it didn't say anything about numbers at all, about accounting at all. Were you there when she came in and talked?
I was, but I was working on, do you want the resume?
oh, sure, thanks. I have the email copy, but it's nice to see.
so
you.
would
Oops, sorry.
having never done this before, would it be the board's responsibility to, or Brandy, or I guess that's my question, whose responsibility is to interview and?
It's our responsibility.
Our responsibility, okay.
But if the person wants to spend some time with Brandy and learn about what's involved in the job, that would be up to her to be willing to give that person before the person decides they're interested.
Do you know,
So-
like, has Brandy already talked to her about just kind of like details about what's involved
She
in the
came
position?
in and Brandy gave her the overview of what
Okay.
it was like.
Yeah,
She didn't actually sit at the computer and see the different modules and that stuff.
yeah, okay.
So it sounds like there's possibly enough interest for an interview. All right.
Yeah,
And so,
but it would still be nice to talk to Sandra. That
I agree.
we talked about that.
yeah.
Of course, I was gonna, well, Brandy wasn't in last week either, but she seemed to know how to do a Zoom with a laptop. Is that true, Michael? Brandy?
I don't know, but I have never done a Zoom with, well, actually Brandy, yeah, I would imagine Brandy knows how to do that. but-
Okay.
I think I can do it on my laptop, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure I can project it to a screen.
Well, if we were either all at home or had our own laptops,
Right.
you know.
If you had your laptop connected to that screen, I
We
would
could do it that way.
project it, yeah. But I'm not sure the particulars of using that particular screen. There is a whole setup that the town bought during the pandemic for a screen.
Yeah, but you're the only one that knows how to do that, and we don't really need to.
I'm the only one
If
that
you-
has learned how.
I'm happy to learn if you want to,
Okay.
and maybe if we end up doing this, I'll just come early with you and we'll set it up and then I can be the person that does that.
Sure.
And this all, just to fill you in, we had a conversation with, or I had a conversation with Sandra Ferber, who was the Worcester town clerk, town treasurer for a long time. Then was the Callis, was she both positions or just?
Just treasurer, I think.
Just treasurer. And I'm not sure that she's interested in being a treasurer again for the town of Woodbury, but she worked in the past with Callis because when she decided to leave her position as town treasurer, they had trouble filling her position. And so she worked with them to carry them through until they were able to find one, and also help them in the search for a new treasurer. And I think it would probably be in the board's interest to have at least a discussion with her about it. She's willing to do it.
Yeah.
But she lives in Berlin, and rather than driving all the way out here, it'd be nice to do it by Zoom.
Yeah, and the town has a Zoom account, professional account, so unlimited time, etc. Randy does know the email and the passcode to use that. And again, everybody who would be part of that meeting could be, a guest or scheduled with the information to join the meeting.
I mean, it would just be the three of us, so we could maybe do it down at the town office on one night when the office wasn't open.
And, you can do, if you have one laptop, that equipment that we have, you can plug, there's a very simple sound system that you can plug into a laptop that will have the volume of the speaking louder, so you could be using one laptop. The person doesn't have to see everybody, but if everybody wants to be seen, again, you could each have your own laptops, or we could use the screen that goes with that. And then with the speaker system and amp, it does raise the volume, because often laptops are pretty low volume and sound, so it makes it easier for other people in the room to hear it. But it's a pretty simple setup. And we could set it up if you have a time in the meeting and I was available, I'd be glad to help set it up, make sure it's working.
I know
There is a laptop that Skip Marcassani got for us for that particular thing, and we had nothing but problems with it, so I did stop using that one and have just used my own, for different meetings.
I had floated the idea of meeting tonight by Zoom. This was about a week ago, but she couldn't do it this evening, so it wasn't an option. So we'll have to come up with another date.
Okay. And I think, we had the Conservation Commission had a geologist come and give a talk, and Myrna was able to use that screen for PowerPoint. So I think this could be available to us if you did want to try to do a Zoom meeting. We do have a smaller monitor in the town equipment for that too. So that's helpful too.
All right.
And if you wanted to try to do it for a select board meeting, just give me a heads up and we could meet earlier and get it all set up. And,
Okay.
be sure to do it.
We'd probably have to warn a special meeting. If we didn't, if we don't want to, I don't think we want to do it at a regular meeting.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, you'd have to warn that anyway.
Yeah.
And then
Usually with a special meeting, if it is going to be through Zoom, at this point in time, for a select board meeting, the meeting has to be warned for a physical place, and it also has to be warned for Zoom with the contact information for anybody who wanted to tune in.
So we would just be going into executive session, so.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay.
So I guess I'll try to nail down a date sooner than later so that we can get back to this.
Well, we could still,
woman.
we could
Or you
still
want-
talk with this person. I suppose we could have an executive session for both. Talk with Sandra for a while and talk with this person for a while.
All right. All right.
Are you thinking at the next meeting, or are you thinking you're thinking of a
Special
special
meeting,
meeting?
yeah.
Okay.
I think we should try to do it sooner than later.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. And then would be good, I think, I think Brandy has suggested that she would be interested in leaving sooner than later, but we should probably get some kind of definitive answer about that.
I have one blank space in my notes, so is the select board going to contact the other person who's expressed an interest, or? Yeah, okay.
Who wants to get a hold of her?
I'll call Sandra. You want to call Lily?
I'll call Lillian, yeah.
All right.
So,
Do you want me to forward you the email that she sent in?
sure, so separate from her resume, did she send a second email?
Well, it's all attached to the same one.
Oh, gotcha. So I probably have it, but if you don't mind resending it.
Sure, here too.
Oh yeah, okay. So what should I tell her if we haven't chosen a date? Should I find out when she's available and then I'll bounce that past
Yeah.
you guys and see, what would work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sandra is the one that will probably have the hardest time nailing down, right? I mean.
Maybe with Zoom, it probably won't be that bad.
So maybe you want to try for next Monday?
Yeah, let's put that as what is the date next Monday? No, I can't.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's December 2nd.
Maybe I can.
The school board?
I got to drive Aiden to Montreal, so,
Oh,
but I don't know what time I'll be back. I might.
yeah.
If that was a Zoom meeting, I would have a hard time helping this set up.
Okay, so let's not say it.
Tuesday, next
Sorry.
Tuesday?
Yeah, let's try Tuesday, this 3rd.
Tuesday the 3rd?
Yeah.
And then for Lillian, should I just find out when are good times and then bring those back to you guys? We should probably try to do it independently, or
I think so.
Is that too much to try to cram into one?
I would love to do that after, it'd be interesting to get Sandra's perspective on the position and possibly what we'd be interested in looking for in a treasurer. And
So I want to do that separately.
I would like
This
to.
lady, she probably could come and meet with us
she lives in
in
Woodbury.
person, yeah.
But she also works in White River.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. That's good to know.
But she comes home at night, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But if she works until 4:30,
Yeah, well,
I also, and I still, this is my opinion, but I'd like to continue the conversation about this position potentially being an appointed position and not an elected position. Partly because, like in the current situation that we're in, having somebody accept this position for 3 months, then to have to be elected again, it's not very
Not appealing.
not appealing. Yeah.
I think,
So-
yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of impossible to fix that now because in order to change.
For sure.
It would have to, but
Yeah.
if we told a person that we were going to put this on the warning and ask the voters to make this into an appointed rather than an elected position, they might not care, but
Yeah. I'd like to
some
ha-
people
at
would
least-
rather be elected than appointed. Because appointed means they have to answer to the select board
Yeah. I just
rather
think
than
that
to the voters.
I just think that it's potentially going to be more and more difficult
Yeah.
to find
Yeah.
qualified folks
Right.
for this position if they.
There's no job security.
Yeah. And is it a 3-year term or is it? It's a 3-year term.
It is a 3-year term now, so that's.
And my understanding is that other towns are having a difficult time, and that is one of the reasons.
but if you turned it into appointed, would it still stay part-time with very little benefits?
Probably would, I don't think it would affect that.
Wouldn't have to.
It could be, I mean, either way, appointed or, I mean, if we find someone now before March, it would be appointed for that point.
Right.
Have to negotiate with the person how it's gonna fit into their life, our budget.
It's at least, I think, a conversation worth having. I don't know what everybody feels about that, but
Yeah.
might be unpopular, but maybe more resilient.
So,
Town office flood repairs.
well, wait a minute, so if we're
Yep.
gonna do this on Tuesday the 3rd, check with Sandra, let me know, and then, because I'll have to do it's only like a 24-hour warning for a special meeting.
Probably, but by Friday.
Although
we would need-
Tuesday is the night that the office is open, so we might try for another night.
That is Tuesday, the 3rd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the office is open, so we don't want to do it probably. better
Oh, I see what you're
not
saying.
to do
Yeah,
it when the
okay.
office is open.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to try the 4th?
This room would probably be available on the 3rd.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, we could try that.
I'll try for the 3rd.
Okay.
Yep.
And if it is going to entail setting up Zoom where I would be meeting, please let me know, because I'm doing some respite care now,
Oh,
overnight stuff.
Oh.
Tuesday is one of the nights that I've been doing that, but I could change that schedule. That would
I'll let you know
be okay.
as soon as I hear.
Are we thinking like around 6 probably? Okay.
And this is with the Worcester?
Sandra is no longer
former Callis
Okay.
town
Yeah.
clerk,
So
town
that's the
treasurer.
one that wasn't, okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the names.
So Lizzie, what time do you get home?
It varies a lot.
Okay.
But 6, I mean, it'll be dark, so I'm
Okay,
sure I can
all
be
right,
here for
okay,
6.
all right.
Anything else regarding the treasurer search? All right. Town office flood repairs, the door, the sprinkler, the mud, and the paint. I do have somebody who's interested in doing the work. I just got to get him out here. I got to find time for him to do it.
Okay,
For the doors, and he can hang some sheetrock. But in the meantime, it sounds like Nakima can still go ahead and.
She did.
She did.
She did,
Yeah,
I believe.
she did a lot of it.
I did 2 coats on the wall that the box is hanging on, and then the wall that borders the furnace room.
Great.
okay.
And the little wall on the other side of that door too, she's got that done.
So she hasn't
So it's-
sanded.
No,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, she had, I didn't actually see what she had done, but she texted me and said that knowing that there was other work plans, she didn't think it made sense for her to keep going. And I hadn't seen exactly what she had done, but I know like kind of the whole point was to get the sanding done before the network equipment got installed.
So she was talking about doing a 3rd coat, did you say?
yeah, she wants to do a 3rd coat on the whole thing, but she said
Wait.
just to do that 3rd coat, it's gonna take her maybe a half hour.
Oh.
So she said it's
Yeah.
really not worth
Right.
our money for her to come up and
Right.
do that, when we're gonna have that other wall
Okay.
done. So we gotta get that other wall taken off and that, whatever in there cut out.
Yeah. I forgot, did Skip already schedule the install
No.
for that equipment?
No, they're waiting
Okay. Yep.
until there's no dust.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kit, I guess that has to come off this is the little triangular piece at the bottom of the stairs or something like that? Is that what is the holdup?
Well, either Robin or I could show you or your guy all the different places that were pointed out, like taking the door casing is going to have to come off anyways, I guess, at the bottom of the stairs. He suggested taking that out, the piece closest to the outside wall, and whatever sheetrock was under there didn't get taken off during the flood
Which
repairs.
is just narrow like this.
Yeah, suggested that piece be taken off and replaced, and
You'd be there tomorrow morning at 9?
Yes.
How about I just run through it with Robin?
yeah, good.
And then we can see what makes sense in terms of scheduling. Right.
Taking off that one piece of sheetrock and looking, I guess, cutting out
Did you
some of
order
the
door,
boards.
Chris? Yeah, because
And,
your guy, who is it? Somebody I know?
Brennan.
Okay, I haven't met him, but
Yeah.
like he wouldn't be able to do the door unless it's
Here. I know. It should be a week.
Is that quick?
Yeah,
Okay.
it should be a week.
Great.
And,
Even though it's an odd size, because I think it's going to be real short, custom size, because the floor.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll check. I'll get on it. Yeah.
and the sheetrock over by the utility room that wasn't finished. Just a piece that needs to be put in there. And he suggested cutting out the bottom part of the plywood that's on like the east side of the utility room. There's some water
You
damage
remember all
there.
that? Okay, so we'll go
Okay.
through it tomorrow. And
Little bits on the ceiling.
in places where it makes sense not to put sheetrock back there, are you okay if we put paneling back there?
I don't care.
Seems, okay. And then we'll eliminate the dust issue, and we can kind of like, maybe just keep going.
Are you thinking maybe like under the stairs to, except if that's going to be a firewall, which I still think, I mean, if we're doing a fire
Maybe.
door, it's going to be a
Okay.
firewall,
Yep.
so it's going to be sheetrock.
All right.
But right now it's just wood paneled on the side of the stairwell, right? It's just
Sheetrock.
wood.
We're talking.
And you're
like-
in the stairwell where that light is hanging down
Oh,
and down at
yeah.
the bottom of there, that's where he suggested taking out some of that wood. It's wood paneling.
Okay, I'm talking about the wall if you're in the basement downstairs. And if you were to look through the wall, you'd see the stairs, but you don't see them. Or it's like under the stairs,
Yeah.
that wall. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why you can't just cut out that wood from in the stairway rather than taking out the sheetrock and,
Yeah, why did he want the sheetrock taken out under the stairs? It wasn't,
I guess I wasn't clear. It sounded to me like it had to do with the fact that some of that wood on the wall of the stairwell,
I'd gotten flooded.
right,
okay,
had not been replaced, yeah.
Potentially, we could pull the wood off, put new wood on.
maybe? Yeah.
We'll find out
I haven't
tomorrow.
looked at it. to
Well,
see,
yeah,
but-
you can,
It'll be easy
Yeah.
and fast.
Thanks, Chris.
for people who know what they're doing.
And then sprinkler, that's not my ballpark for sure, or not my,
That was something that Paul Cerruti threw out, I
Right.
guess, when he talked to you or somebody else.
there's no sprinklers in the rest of the building, or there are
No,
sprinklers?
no.
But he was suggesting we put a sprinkler in the basement,
Over the furnace.
over the furnace.
Yeah.
All right,
It's also suggested that by the guy from Paul Davis, that we have that chimney capped and cleaned out at the bottom, so that won't keep bringing in rain and possibly leaking.
it's not a bad idea.
Not flood related though.
Do we have a plumber that we work with to do the sprinkler? I think that was my question last time.
Yeah, Paul had mentioned that maybe Robin's son-in-law could do it.
I can check with him.
Great. Might as
It's
well do
just a
that.
small job, we don't have to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. All right.
Although with that little 5-gallon water tank, I don't know what good that would do. Putting out a fire. Better than nothing, I guess.
Thanks, Robin. And then it's approved bills, payroll orders, and then we'll do you want to do that after budget work, or do you want to do that?
Yeah, no, let's do that after the budget.
Okay. You don't want to stay around?
Here's, we did get this resignation letter from Jane Noel Lorendo. She's not gonna finish out her term as a lister.
How many listers do we have?
We have 3. She's 1. We have Ron Wells and,
So we have 2.
Buddy Collins.
thank you,
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie Collins, yeah. Who are working very well together.
Thanks, Skip.
One thing with the highway budget that Brandy had asked me for was grants and town matches, et cetera. I'm going to be putting that together this week, and I'll send it to select board members, to Alfie, and to Brandy.
Yeah, we'll just be touching not even first base probably tonight.
So having never been through this before, thanks, Michael. I'll give you a shout when I know about that
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah, thanks for helping us out with that.
Sure. Yeah. Somebody else had
I'm glad you're gonna teach
Yeah.
Chris, because I'm unteachable.
Okay, so as soon as I hear from Sandra, I'll set up this for the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Phew.
I do
The
not
state,
have
the
my phone.
legislature
Can you
has
send me
made
an
it so
email
fun.
Yeah.
to talk to Sandra?
Like a reminder?
Yeah.
Can I text you right now?
Please.
Okay.
Yeah. I left my phone at home.
Oh,
And, well, that's how I keep track of, like, that I have to call Sandra.
yeah, you're lucky you have I should learn to do that. I just got
Probably better
calendars
that you
all over
don't.
the place.
So how does this process work?
So we look at this place that has the blanks on the right side, and we don't do this part, but we go down here to, well, we can start with wages and benefits, or we can just,
I feel like that is possibly, well, maybe not.
I don't know, for some reason in Nemrick, you can't get a line item out for like 3 years after it's not used anymore. So we got like Greg Parkhurst and
I see.
Dave Pike and
But they're no longer.
So we-
Rowell.
We just have to put zeros for those? Is that?
What?
We just have to put zeros for those? Is that the deal?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think when it comes to the town report, those will come out. Those won't be in there, but for now, yeah. So Alfred Larrabee, first on the list. How much do you want?
All I can get, for sure.
Well, you guys will have to decide what kind of a percentage you're gonna give us, right?
Right,
But that's what it
right.
was on percentage.
Yeah, we have to do, that'll be something to decide.
But I think maybe is it easier just to kind of go with some more concrete?
Yeah, let's not do that. We should do some looking into what the cost of living increase
Yeah.
is this year and things like that, and we can fill that in later. But in the meantime,
We could go on to office expenses, right?
yeah, highway,
Because there's no way to determine revenue. Revenue is,
right. I mean, the state stuff will be pretty much like it was last year.
but like Swenson's, it looks like it changes.
Yeah.
Like we never really know what we're gonna get, right?
Right.
Because
We
it's
always
based
got a
on
budget
what they
for
haul.
something.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Finance charges, garage supplies.
we budgeted 1,000 in 2025.
And you've already spent $426 in the first 3 months.
3 months?
July, August, September, October, November, 5.
5.
Okay, 5.
They give you a 5 right up on the top.
That's right, that's a 5, yeah, almost
That's
5.
gonna continue to rise, because that's where
What?
the new shed, that's where the new shed is coming out.
No, this is supplies in the garage. I don't know what's involved here.
Yeah.
Like
Because it's-
probably your paper for your printer and,
Do you,
I always get from the office. I usually ask for it, though. I don't just gonna take it. So, so no, I
So, I
I
mean,
don't usually purchase anything like that. Usually it comes, Randy, if I need something, Randy orders it and it comes
yeah,
over there, but
well,
I'm totally willing to take that over.
so, yeah, okay, well,
So level, think we can level fund that?
yeah, that's all right.
I think that's.
Okay.
Workshops and training,
We budgeted $200 for workshops and training last year.
and spent 50. That includes like going to the truck show,
Yeah, there should have been more than, no,
200.
that's right. No, that's my spot.
That's like
Yeah,
10 bucks a piece or something like that, yeah.
yeah.
Should we just keep it the same?
I think we could keep that the same. I mean, if we're going to do like part-time help, if we're gonna ever do part-time help, there's gonna be some training we're gonna want them to take,
Oh,
you know, for anybody that, you know, most likely who we get is gonna be somebody that's not super experienced, and we're gonna want some training.
So at the high end, what might that,
We're at 200 now.
yeah,
Yeah, I would go at least, I want to say 1,000, but that might be a lot.
what kind of training is there available for,
Well, like the Better Roads programs,
yeah,
they have different trainings that you can go to for safety, for how to deal with blacktop, all the stuff that, and we haven't done a lot of that, honestly. But I'm just thinking if we're gonna have new employees, then we're gonna want to have some outside professionals teaching us. I mean, I'll never sit here and tell you that I know it all, but I've been through all those classes.
well, I was gonna say, in your career, you must have gone through
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of
Oh,
them.
yeah. I'm a scholar, actually.
Oh.
Better Road Scholar.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, I have a plaque to do it.
Oh, boy.
But it's still, even with my years of experience, there's still new stuff all the time. There's stuff
yeah.
you know, safety rules change, OSHA rules change, all that stuff.
so you think $500 is a good compromise? Okay,
It's not too much.
we'll put an asterisk next to that in the event that we,
So we skipped the first two. Do we want to do those just so we're being
oh yeah, thank you.
consistent, or-
I saw zeros there, but that, yeah, you're absolutely right. Finance charges,
Well, that's nothing we can do. Randy would have to,
Okay.
I don't think there's
okay.
anything,
so we don't really budget anything for that, right?
no, we
Okay.
didn't last year.
Correct. And then staff appreciation, which is, I
That
assume,
could go up. I'll fight for that one.
that's like a, give me an example.
It's like
Like a
Yes.
Christmas bonus or something?
You're like, what,
Yeah.
$75?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that callus was $250
A piece.
per person.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, that's callous.
But that's callus, yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So there's 3 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, let's leave 300.
All right.
Mileage,
I think we could level that.
yeah, 2,700 last
That's
year.
one ton now, so it's not. I don't think my plan is the same as yours.
What?
The paper I'm looking at is not the same as yours, actually, I can't follow where you.
You don't have,
Well, we jumped around a little
Are
bit,
you on
but
page?
You're on page two, on the back side, Elfie. It's double-sided.
Okay, yeah.
do you have this,
Oh, okay, office expenses, okay.
Yeah, Mercy.
Okay, now here we are. Yeah.
so we're on to electricity in the garage. We budgeted $2,500.
Yeah, last year was 11. I think we could stay the same.
All right, we'll level fund that.
what is the word you keep saying? Level
Level
fund?
fund, yeah. I don't know if that's the right term, but we're not increasing it or decreasing it.
It sounds really good.
Streetlights, that was extremely high.
Yeah, that went up a little bit. Let's say $2,500 for streetlights.
Yeah, we actually in 2024 paid almost $2,400.
Telephone and Wi-Fi, we're gonna have to go back to Skip and figure that out.
Yeah.
It should be
Skip.
different, but I don't know how much different.
Right.
Now, this was confusing to me. It says you've already spent $6,022 since July. That doesn't seem possible.
Did you pre-buy?
No, not to my knowledge. Unless, I mean, we do sign a contract with them. I think maybe Brandy does a pre-buy, I'm not really sure.
Or if you're in a contract, maybe she just figures it's, the money's promised, so it's like spent.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we should ask Brandy about that, right?
It shouldn't come out of the budget as it goes, unless it is a pre-buy.
So, heat. For heat, you have both oil and gas, right?
Correct. Primarily gas.
Primarily gas. Yeah, gotta check on that.
Yeah. And what did we advertise for like jobs, positions, openings? Yep. And it's, well, we spent $638 in 2024. It seems like we should,
Up it?
yeah.
Should go to 7, 8,
700?
7?
Yeah, let's put 700 in there. Public safety. What's NGRP? MRGP?
Municipal something
Roads
grant
grant program?
It has to do with
Municipal roads
runoff or
grant
something.
Oh, that's it's, every town has to join and pay that.
It's a state.
It's the erosion, the Champlain.
Right,
Train
yeah.
Cleanup Act, or whatever it was with that. So that's a given, we can't.
Right, so we'll assume it's $13.50
Yeah.
again. The safety equipment signs, is $1,000 enough for that?
Yes.
Yeah, did you already spend $1,000?
Well, we did, no.
Oh, okay.
Do we ever get the bicycle signs? Because maybe we would need to add if we
a good
haven't got
question.
those yet.
I have ordered them.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I ordered them.
That's a lot of confidence.
So it doesn't, okay, never mind.
Pretty sure. We were talking a lot about it.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I think we went round and round and round and round and dumped it on you.
Double check on that.
Okay, so we'll
But
put
I
it,
guess that wouldn't affect this anyway, right? Or would
No,
it?
I don't think that's safety, we're talking safety signs.
Oh, okay, that's not road signs.
So these would be
Okay.
like road work ahead,
Yeah.
And you got a whole bunch of new stuff from FEMA, right?
a bunch from FEMA, so I think we're fine there.
So we probably don't need any $1,000 more.
You could drop that to 500.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. Radios, cameras, pagers, whoa.
Yeah, that's something we should probably raise.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Spent $2,000 last year.
Yep. Yep, a lot of that was our antenna failed that is at the quarry.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
we weren't transmitting well around town, and I hired a guy to come and fix it.
Yeah,
There was a cable broke, and there's a bunch of things wrong with it. While we're on that topic, I think it was Paul was asking me about the possibilities of maybe upgrading our antenna on the tower at the quarry, which would mean we need a new repeater. I'm just thinking, as far as budgeting, it might be a good time to sock a little bit away for that.
Yeah,
I
so-
have no idea what the amount would be, but
But we're not on the antenna, are we? I thought we were just on the, I mean, we're not on the tower, are
We're
we?
on the tower.
We're just on the building.
We're on the building.
Yeah,
But it sounds like there's a chance that we could be on the tower.
with the fire department.
Which would give us a whole lot more.
Yeah,
range for our
okay.
radios. And I don't think that's materializing very quickly, but I just, while we're talking budget, we might want to just be prepared for that
Okay.
a little bit. And really, $1,000 doesn't cover much for radio
No.
work
No.
Yeah.
nowadays. Anytime we buy a new truck, most likely put a new radio in.
Oh, yeah.
And you gotta pay him to install it a lot of times, so that it all begins to add up.
So should we put in 3,000 to start?
Yeah, I think that's,
Meanwhile, if you hear any more from Paul about upgrades to the tower,
yeah,
to their antenna on the tower, plenty of time. Okay,
Trash service.
trash, yeah. Looks like
Spent a little more than,
800 maybe?
yeah.
they increased their rates
Did they?
recently. They did at my personal home,
Uh-huh.
so I'm sure they did for the garage too. So, getting an 8 there,
Who do we use?
Brian Perry.
Yep.
So garage repairs and maintenance, is that where your money for the new shed is coming from, or no?
I believe so, yes. That's where I was back when we were talking about, when I was on the wrong page. But,
Yep.
yeah, so we're probably gonna be over budget on that this year, just so we know.
But do you see,
But typically, I mean, it's an old building, and we're getting by like it is, but it's gonna need some work eventually.
what are the big ticket items?
Well, like the wall where you walk in, that whole wall shakes right back and forth. It's not insulated well, it's not sturdy at all.
No, this is the garage, the big garage, not the shed that you're building from five,
In the
okay.
garage that stores all the equipment.
Okay.
and trucks, the doors need to be fixed occasionally. The overhead doors.
Yeah.
To try to keep them efficient at least, so we're not losing a lot of heat. So, I mean, the furnace is fairly new, the gas furnace, so that's not it. The bathroom is not really fit to be used. That really needs some work.
Okay.
The toilet leaks, has ever since I've been there. It really needs to be a new floor put in and raised up so that it sits flat. And I mean, I want to go in there with a pressure washer. I'm not kidding. It's that bad. Just pressure wash the whole thing and then put a new floor in there. So I'd like to beef that up a little bit for that. I mean, we could do the work ourselves. It's not a lot of labor, but to buy the materials, as we all know, things are going through the roof.
So does it make sense in terms of the garage and repairs and maintenance if you, for the next meeting, if you kind of created like a wish list of things you see in that building that are going to need to be addressed, and we can kind of come up with a plan, like
Yeah.
in 2025, we're going to tackle this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll come back to that item
Okay, good idea.
if everybody's in agreement.
This fire alarm stuff, I'm sure, is already
That's set pretty much.
set.
Although we paid twice as much in
The monitoring, is that because of the, I don't know.
the fire alarm contract services, we've budgeted 120, but we paid 240? Did we
We paid
replace?
so much, 120 already again this 5 months.
Yeah, I don't know where that would be, unless it was,
Probably ask Randy.
we had to, for the new, wasn't it for the new phone system, we had to add a new box
Maybe.
for the new computer system, we had to add a box so that they could have two lines, two separate lines going in the middle.
But I think that's in,
I wonder if
that was even last year though. This year we've already
spent the budget
spent
this
the
year.
budgeted.
Yeah, $1,400, because that's the only place I can see that, where that will go. Right?
Oh, we're looking at this one here. Which isn't a big line item, the contract services.
Services, right.
National Highway have paid more.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for Brandy on that
Yeah,
one.
that's a brand new question.
Yeah. So have you started shopping for a new truck yet?
Got it all picked out.
What? Oh, really?
How much is it?
Well, I didn't get that far, because I didn't get her that ready, but somewhere around 200,000.
Yeah,
But
with everything?
altogether,
Yeah.
I did find another supplier in New Hampshire that is now selling trucks total. Before it was you buy a truck from one company, then you buy equipment from another. This people are doing the whole thing. They're putting trucks together. Turnkey trucks is what they call them.
Nice.
So it sounds like they're pretty available.
How long did we wait for the last one? It was more than a year.
Yes, yes.
Here we go, yeah.
And I was,
I'm sorry, I just asked him if we've been shopping for trucks yet.
Gotcha.
yeah. So they haven't. It's been a year wait for just a cab and chassis. But these people I've been talking to, they're in New Hampshire, and they've got some sitting on a lot.
Really? Wow.
And they said they're about a month from the time
No
you order
kidding.
it, you can have the truck. So that's a different feeling than what I was hearing
You were
before.
figuring, yeah. Interesting.
But with that, on that topic, that our 14 is getting to the point. So I really want to keep thinking about that, replacing that in 2014. Because it's going to start nickel and diming us. It's going to be a lot of repairs.
Will it have any resale value? Trade-in value?
Yeah, I mean, the last one we got 33,000 for it. Which is a drop in the bucket compared to
Yeah,
200,000, but it's
okay.
something.
10%.
So, yeah, I think we'll get something out of it for sure. Yeah. It's not ready for the boneyard, but it's just not, it's not as reliable as we need it to be for every day. So, just, I think we should keep that issue burning
Yeah.
on our minds.
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll just have to see what we've got for money.
Yeah.
Another Brandy question.
So I think, go ahead.
So, yeah.
So which truck, if we know that we have to think about replacing, you said it's the 2014,
Yeah.
which one of these line items would that end up being like
I
added
think
to?
each truck has its own line item.
Okay,
When it comes to repairs.
It's on the next page,
okay.
truck 2014.
Oh, I see,
And you
okay.
can see the expenses there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's repairs. And
So already we're beyond what we budgeted in repairs for that 2014.
so would we need to put, like if that was getting replaced, would we need to put $200,000 in that line item? to make that happen? Is
No, I
that,
think we would go into, figure out what we've got in the highway equipment
Yeah,
reserve
trucks are
fund.
done different, to purchase a truck is done differently, right?
Yeah.
So this is more, these line items are more for repairs and expenses.
Okay.
But these other, back on page 3, these are, you know, for a while we were making payments on some of these, and that's what these are.
Where?
Because, well, back on page 3.
Yep.
Where it says 30,000, those are probably the ones that we had leased, the lease purchase, or the leased ones. And, looks like, I'm not sure why this is under expenses rather than, well, the HERF transfer, if we're gonna be putting in 90,000 out of FY '25, well, we don't know what else we have. Well, maybe we did.
What is HERF?
Highway Equipment Reserve Fund.
Got it.
And, well, here it says we only have $13,000, but I can't believe that.
Yeah, well, FEMA money's coming in too. so
Exactly, right,
taxes.
right.
So you should have.
Yep. So anyways, many years ago, the town voted to set up this highway equipment reserve fund. It's a special fund outside of the regular budget, but money that goes into the, I mean, the idea was that every year we put something away. And then we spend it all in big chunks.
So this year, we said we were gonna put 90,000 away.
Right.
And last year, we put 60,000 away.
Yeah,
And
this due to, due from thing here, it shows that we've only got $13,000, but
in the heart?
I don't think,
What would
I'm
we?
not sure that's right. Although we did spend a lot of money on the grader and the other truck, so maybe,
Is that on the same sheet or a
no,
different?
this is the monthly
What's
thing.
the that one paper? So that's your minutes.
It's
Yeah, the last page.
This right here.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That would presume that we spent $47,000 of the highway reserve fund this year so far. No, last year.
Looking at-
Last year.
Well, we bought
About-
550. That might be where that went.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
bought the
that was like
grader,
90 or
which
something.
I know we used ARPA funds, but I think we didn't
That was
only,
filed the prior year though.
oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause, yeah, Greg was still here. when we
Okay.
bought that, so it was 2 years ago.
So anyways, Brandy,
All right. That's a Brandy question. Excuse me.
I know, right?
okay, garage repair maintenance. Truck HERF transfer, 3,000, rental, equipment rental,
I think we could leave that,
3,000.
How is it that,
unless we're gonna do more big culverts in preparation for these flooding events. I mean, the last 2 years, we had FEMA cover the excavator rental.
which is why we,
I thought that was,
6,000.
that didn't go through the general fund, interesting.
No, it shouldn't have. FEMA's a total different line item, a whole separate line item.
Wow,
So any of our FEMA expenses was not coming out of our line item.
and what is, $3,000 get you how long with that big machine?
Well, for the excavator, it's 6,500 a month.
oh,
Per month is 6,500, so 3,000 doesn't do much.
Would we want to raise it to 65 and like assume
I
that?
think so. I mean, I think eventually we're gonna have to think about replacing our excavator too. I hate to ask for the world, but that thing's getting tired. I mean, the bucket shakes like this when you, and it's getting tired. it's been a good machine. We've had it for a long time. I mean, I think it was bought back when Harry Daly was here. But that's, you know, I don't want to beef up the rental if we're going to think about replacing
Right.
that.
But we probably won't replace that in the same year that we get a truck,
Right.
so.
So we should probably go to the 65 for that rental.
Okay.
Assuming you have some projects in mind.
Yeah.
Small tools,
I think we can use that the same. I mean, there's a list that I do need to buy. Like we got a jack, or our jacks that lifts our trucks. Doesn't work that well. It's nice to have two of them, so that we're putting chains on. Each truck can be lifted up and putting chains on.
oh,
I think we could probably beef that to 2,000. I think we're just putting place marks in here, right? We're gonna go through this again, most likely,
right,
Yeah.
when the rubber hits the road.
yeah, then we get to the bottom line and then we'll go back and start over.
Yeah. Gasoline, I think we could leave that the same.
Do you have any trucks that run on gasoline?
No, but we use like for chainsaws
Yeah.
and the small chloride tank, that's chloride foam. It's maybe small engines.
But you only spent $73 last year.
I think that. Why would that be? Either it was going into the wrong item, maybe. I mean, it's been budgeted $1,000. Last year was budgeted $1,000.
Yeah,
We can lower it if you want.
yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, that's mainly what it goes for, is just
Chainsaws.
chainsaw gas.
So you're like
Generator.
talking a buck, you know, like a bucket at a time?
You know, yeah, 3 or 4 or 5 gallon pails.
Yeah.
I like to have it on hand,
Yeah,
a storm event or whatever.
Yeah.
But, also, I have it's challenging to go to a gas station and buy gasoline, because I don't have a card, and most gas stations don't have.
yeah,
So usually if I do that, I either have to get reimbursed, or I can go to Brandy and take the card from her.
yeah.
That's kind of problematic sometimes.
Yeah, really, why don't you have a card?
Because Greg used to have, and then for some reason it never
Something
came.
happened, yeah.
It's fine, it's fine. I would like some way to be able to purchase small things like
Sure.
this.
It makes sense.
I do have, like, Tractor Supply, I have a card there that
Okay.
I carry, and I can go in there and buy some tools and some stuff that we need, but that's something that, you know, we can.
Do they have, do places have like a gas card? I mean, I know you can prepay by a gas card, but like a card issued by,
I don't know.
no, the mobile
I
station
use-
probably
For my
does.
own, I use debit card, I have a debit
Just-
card.
yeah.
But,
Right, but instead of having a, you know, a debit card that you can, or credit card that you can,
Excuse me.
yeah. So, anyway, we can
anyways,
talk about that.
yeah. Diesel fuel,
Diesel for the garage,
how's that going up?
it's actually staying pretty benign right now, diesel
Yeah.
cost, yeah. So I think we could leave that the same, maybe. I mean, obviously, with our new administration, we don't know what that's gonna do.
Right. I mean, gas in Hardwick is what, $1.99 or $2.99? But anyways, it's
Yeah, it's dropping, things are dropping right now.
it's not his fault though.
It's not, let's go to the credit, no. credit.
Although some people probably think so.
Grease and oil, I think we can leave that the same, we were just barely over last year.
Yeah, okay. Outside.
Services. That would drop last year from the prior year.
So,
We didn't hire anybody.
didn't you have to hire some guy to work on the old grader or something? Is that what
That would go under the grader line item.
Oh, okay.
As a maintenance. This is for like if I was to hire a 10-wheel dump truck and bring material, or somebody to chip brush, outside services.
Okay,
I think we should have something there.
yeah.
1 year it was 42,000, we budgeted 42,000.
Where are you
No, that's
seeing
12.
that?
That's 12.
Yeah, it's
No,
12.
It was a 10 mark. Made it look like a 4, honestly. But it was 12, and then we lowered it to 7.
Yeah, okay.
I think we could keep that at 7. Just so we have something there. Chainsaws, we could leave that the same. That's for like bars and chains and oil.
So is this all like, we look at like truck one, and we budgeted in 2024, or for 2024, 2,500, but spent almost 34,000. Were those repairs, or?
I don't think there would be that much repair on that truck.
That truck's gone, right?
Why would that? That's the 20, well, that's a brand new truck, 2024.
Oh,
We
the
didn't pay it
truck,
off.
what?
We didn't pay it off.
Would that come out of this line item, the payment?
Truck one is the new truck that was all paid for. Well, maybe there was some stuff that had to be
Would that have been
the plow or something, or the,
the remainder of the plows and body, or?
Is that a Brandy question?
I think that might be a brand question. I'm not sure. But that's a new truck, so I don't think it needs to be, I think we should have something there, but
yeah.
it's still under warranty, so most pre-items would be covered for that.
And then the 2014, we've already spent 6,600. That is repairs, repair work?
That would be repairs. Yes.
Okay.
Is that the one that's in the shop now?
No.
No, it's a 550, you
That's
said.
that's the 10-wheeler that I recommended replacing as soon as we can.
So
we want-
would we want to budget money for repairs if we're thinking we might have a new one?
Depends on when you're gonna
Yeah.
pull the trigger on the new ones. I mean,
And this is for 2025 fiscal year? So like we're not talking about January, right? We're talking about like starting in
July,
June
right.
or July?
We're budgeting for July
26.
26.
It'll be July 25.
25.
That goes
Okay.
through
Goes
June.
through the 26.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
So if, we're probably not buying a truck this winter or the summer.
Okay.
So we need to budget for
So we
repairs
need
for
to
that.
budget for the repairs between now and then.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
between July and,
But we might get one by next fall, right, you think?
yeah.
So that would be into FY '26, which is what we're budgeting for.
Put in $5,000.
We could just put in $5,000 just in
Yeah.
case,
I like that. Yeah.
Have something.
I was gonna say, because you're 5 months into it now.
right? Mm-hmm. And you're gonna have at least 6 months more, so, plus the winter. Okay. So truck 3 is, what's that?
That's the 99 dump. That's another truck I want to get rid of.
That's 25 years old, huh?
Yeah, that's very old. That's the one we use for chloride. We put chloride on.
Oh, okay.
Summertime.
Okay.
It's a 6-wheeler. And as you can see, we haven't put much into it because we just try to keep it going ourselves. You know. So we want to keep that at
Yeah, let's keep that at 1,000.
the 1 ton. I think we can keep that.
What?
I think we can keep that
4,500?
4,500. That's the one that's in the shop right now.
Okay.
We're gonna have a bill from that, probably use up that 4,500 pretty close.
Oh, okay. Bucket loader.
Bucket loader. I think we can keep that the same, still fairly new. I do need to get it serviced fairly soon.
Would that servicing come out of that fourth? Yeah, okay.
Get a low pro.
GoPro.
We've under budgeted for this consistently, at least over the last 2 cycles.
I don't know, I always think of that as being new, but I guess not.
Well, it's in 2019.
Yeah, so it's 4 to 5 years old. But 1 year, wow. We had $10,000 of repair 1 year? Wow.
You want to bump that or keep it the same?
Well,
Budget is 2,000.
okay, you see anything up on the horizon? We already spent $3,800 since
Right, which I
July.
had it, I brought it to the Charlie Boys and had it gone through. so
Oh, okay.
Shouldn't be anything.
Okay. So let's put it in for $3,000.
Mower attachment.
That's that brush
That's that
thing.
troublemaker that breaks
That
windshields.
horrible.
And it's a nuisance all summer long because it ties up my bucket loader. But we have it, so we have to put up with it.
Come
I
on.
think we can leave that same.
And excavator.
Excavator. Again, that's one we just kind of toggle together and do repairs ourselves.
But that's the one you think you need to replace?
I do.
Yeah. How old is that? Oh, it's 2008.
It's a need, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it the same.
Yeah, and then I guess, I mean, if there's talk about, probably not all these things can happen at once, right? But
No.
probably figure out what is priority.
Yeah, well, I think if we do the 14 this coming year, then the following year, we should be able to do the excavator. I mean, we should have a capital replacement plan put together, which is above my, probably, but Callis had one of them.
Yeah, we used to have one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned like Elizabeth Thompson put it together, right?
What?
Did you say Elizabeth Thompson put one together a long time ago?
Yeah.
Cat Raider is no longer with us.
Oh,
Oh wait, were we keeping the excavator same or
You said the same.
Yeah,
same? Okay.
because we have a new grader.
Yes, but I wonder if she's using the same number.
Because
I
there
don't
is
see the grader on here anywhere else, so.
Yeah, I think she uses the same number, but it's a Komatsu.
Okay.
And that is,
It's not 1994 and it's not cat, right?
no, it's not.
But we budgeted 0 and have spent 13.
Right, well, I don't
40.
think we should ever do 0 with any piece of machinery. I mean, there's always something that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I don't know what happened,
So $1,500 is for a new machine, or is that not reasonable?
I think we can get by with it maybe 1 more year. But, you know, an oil change on that is $2,000.
Oh,
Right, okay.
You know,
and
so-
blades and stuff, oh, blades have a
No,
separate.
that's a separate line item. Let's do $2,000 on that.
We want
That'll
to
cover our.
take
last
good
year.
care of our nice new grader.
Utility trailer, that can stay. I'm not sure why we didn't own it, but. The Delta trailer, so that's the equipment trailer. That we need to think about either really doing some work to it or trading it. That's the trailer we haul the excavator around with. There is 0 brakes on it. The lights, we try to keep them working, but it's an old rig. Yeah.
So what does something like that new run?
10,000 probably. For the size that we would need, and again, that, we'd want to look at that if, depending on what we buy for an excavator, we would want the size that would carry, the size excavator we have.
It wouldn't be worth having the brakes repaired.
If we did it ourselves at the shop during slow times in the winter, it would be worth doing.
Yeah.
But to take that somewhere and get new brakes on it, you're looking at, you know, $5,000 probably. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
It's half the price of a new one.
It's half the price of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So it's possible we could, because we're probably not going to be able to think about a new excavator for another 2 years.
Right.
So if there's slow time, probably makes sense to repair those brakes.
So if you were to do it in-house, how much would it cost? For parts, whatever.
Probably $2,000, $2,000.
Really?
Again, I'm guessing.
Yeah, okay.
It's, you know, parts are fluctuating like crazy. A year ago, or a year and a half ago, during COVID, prices were ridiculous, and we were lucky to get a hold of them. It's getting better now as far as availability, but it's still, price hasn't dropped much. There's four axes, there's 2 axles, so there's 4 sides that you have to buy the brake drums and spring kits and the whole thing. And they're air, so most likely the S cams in there are worn out. So you gotta buy bush ends, and it's a big job. But like I said, if we did it during downtime, in the winter time, sometimes we just bring it in and do 1 axle a day or something like
Do
that.
you want to take that on as a project or budget?
Not really, I'm not really trying to convince you of that, but I do want us to be safe out there.
Yeah.
And-
Especially if it's another 2 years before we're
Yeah.
probably
Right.
thinking about that.
Right.
So $2,000.
Wood chipper,
You do that anymore?
Hasn't been used since I started working for Woodbury, but it's still there. It runs. We can leave that like it is.
100?
Sanders. Not sure why that's separate. I mean, that's kind of a truck part.
Sanders?
The
Yeah.
sander, well, I guess like the bigger trucks now, all the sander is all part of the truck. So I would think any repairs there would go on the truck line item. But they did have the little box sander that went in the one ton, which we still have. I'm saving it for a rainy day or problem time. So let's bounce that down to 500. In effort of saving taxpayers.
Cedar.
Hydro cedar, I think.
What's a hydro seeder?
So that's when we clean the ditches out.
Yep.
It comes in a liquid. It's a tank, and you mix all the grass seed and the mulch.
Oh, yeah.
fertilizer,
Okay, yeah.
And then you can spray it onto the
Got it.
side of the road.
Now I know what you're talking about.
And we didn't get a chance to use that much for the last 2 years because we were doing FEMA. So I think we could probably leave that the same.
2,000?
Yeah.
Is that 2,000, that's not repairs, that's actually probably the cost of the slurry or whatever it is that you,
No, I think it would have to be. I think it would have to be. Like the grass seed, I don't think we have a line item for specific for grass seed.
But the title of this section that we're working on is Highway Equipment and Maintenance.
Correct. So we could conceivably, I mean, that's a fairly new machine. Can't foresee much going wrong with it. It's a gas motor, a gasoline motor, and it's got a pump on it. And we could drop that if you want.
Okay, let's drop it to 500. Or less.
Fuel pump, I think we can leave that the same.
Sand screen,
We can leave that alone, we just bought a new one.
0?
Back to 0, yeah.
Yeah. Is that working good, that sand
I
screen?
haven't used it,
What?
have not used it.
Oh, gee.
Because we bought it in the summer and we
Yeah,
don't use it in the winter.
Okay, well,
Give me a month and I'll report back. Yeah. Let's see, equipment maintenance supplies.
like your oil and,
I think that's like lights, headlights, marker lights, any kind of maintenance stuff.
Yeah.
I think we can leave that the same. We did go over last year or something. Or we want to bounce that to 4,000.
let's leave it.
We spent 38 last year. But leave it the same?
yeah.
Okay.
Tires. Boy, that's a real gamble.
Yeah.
You never know what type of tires.
6,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money.
No, not when they're $300 a piece.
Yeah.
And we have,
When they're what?
they're like $300 a piece
$300 a piece?
per tire.
That doesn't sound like much for one of those big tires.
Well,
Okay, maybe
yeah, well,
car tires are almost
Don't usually
that
buy
much.
one.
10 tires per truck.
Oh,
And there's,
that would add up,
and
yeah.
there's 3 trucks.
So if we had to replace all the tires
Oh my goodness.
at once,
Right.
what would,
You would be more than $6,000.
Yeah.
so $6,000,
Also, that also covers the grader tires, the loader tires.
Oh.
If we happen to pick something up on the, which the grader is gonna need tires probably this spring, so. That'll come out of, yeah, as long as I do it before June, it'll come out. It won't affect- I think we should leave that the same.
6,000? Okay. And try to spend what you can before
Yes.
the end of June.
Tire change, I think that's pretty accurate.
$7,000?
Yeah. Blades, that's running pretty true, 1,500. Carbide tips, we can leave that the same. Rate. We go through a set of rate teeth every year.
Looks like they're about $1,400. Keep the 2,000 same?
Yeah, and this year actually I bought an extension for the rake. It's like a 2-foot extension that flops down when you're raking, so you have more coverage.
Oh,
And you can also, it allows the rake to reach out over the edge of the road. So that in the spring, you want to get rid of that berm. And that rake allows you to get out there and pull that berm back into the road.
Got
all
it.
right.
So the water can get off. So we haven't put it on yet, but we will by spring. Road maintenance, gravel. We're not going to speed, we're not showing accuracy here because the last 2 years has been flooding. FEMA's paid for it. So if you want to leave that the same.
60?
Although didn't we, in our special meeting, before we set the
Tax rate.
tax rate, didn't we bump that
Last year, you mean? Or,
when we were setting the tax rate for the year we're in now,
okay.
That would have
town
been in
meeting.
August. Yeah.
right? Didn't we, I just want to make sure we're accurate with things that we've already agreed to. I think during that meeting, I convinced you guys to raise that, but I'm not sure.
To raise that for next year, more than 60,000?
Well, I'm not sure if the raise,
Is the 60?
it might be the 60. I just don't want to raise it again.
It's a question for Brandy.
That might be,
Well, the 60 would be what was approved last year. It wouldn't have been changed if it was budgeted. That column wouldn't have been changed.
okay. But, yeah, that's a question for Brandon.
Okay.
So that's,
Michael's gonna work on that.
I'm just working on that. That's going to be money coming in. Signs, so there's your street sign.
Here's we go,
Oh,
the
okay.
sea signs, yeah.
So we just got to find out whether those have been ordered. But there were more, right? They wanted them? Or did we order them all?
I don't remember.
Is
I
this,
think it was, if I ordered them, I would have ordered them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was about
I think we
$1,000.
talked about doing half, but then we did all of
We
them.
just ended up doing it.
I think.
So it's 2,000, well, we
Does that
spent almost
include
3,000 the year before.
Last year.
Yeah.
But when did you buy those posts? Is that included in this?
It's not showing here. So it must have been, no, it would have been before July 1. So it came out of last year's.
So that's why last year's is
Those posts.
that high. Because you bought those
For
posts.
halves, yeah. But our signs are getting vandalized every day. They're, pulling them down, they're shooting them, they're painting them, they're all that. So we either gotta keep it the same or raise it.
Yeah,
Well, how about,
let's raise it.
yeah, and then
At
like,
least
this isn't the last time we're gonna go through this, right?
Yeah,
I have a feeling we're gonna end up reducing some of these things.
Yeah.
yeah.
Road salt.
I hate to say it, but I almost think we can lower that a little bit.
Lower it from 10, because it was 15, then it went to 10.
Right, but our actual last year was 59.
So let's say 8?
8, yeah. And again, it depends on the year. It's
Right.
fluctuating costs.
Sand,
Sand,
we're gonna have to negotiate a new contract, right?
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And who does that? We do that? You do that?
It goes out to bid.
Yeah, Brandy does that.
Brandy's done it in the
Okay.
past, just she puts it out to bid and then different suppliers bid on it.
And then we pick one.
Got it.
Probably by July 1, you will have replenished the sand pile to some extent, so
That's right, out of this year's
be a,
remainder contract.
yeah.
Yes.
But we still should probably put in 25.
25.5?
I go along with that.
Yeah, 25.
Chloride. That's right, pretty true. Again, that depends on how dry it is all summer, and I think that chloride is very important for our roads. It keeps it locked together. It keeps, that's,
Do you think is 12 reasonable?
well, last year we budgeted 15.
Is that a one-time purchase?
No, we buy it throughout the summer.
Oh,
They
okay.
bring it like
Okay.
3,000 gallons at a time.
Oh. Okay,
I'd like to keep that the same.
Okay.
15? Okay.
Coal patch, we don't do much of that. I think we could put that back to 500.
500. Guardrail, I'd like to talk about that.
Yes.
Well, that West Woodbury Cape Brook Road, that's kind of scary to me. Well, a lot of places are, but that one, a lot of places have at least trees that would stop you, but,
Right, right. No, we've got a lot of places around town
yeah,
with honor guardrails. But it is expensive.
yeah.
How much does $1,000 worth of guardrail get you?
About 20 feet. Like maybe a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, no, it's very expensive.
So we want to bump that up?
Well, we need to decide,
I think if we were planning on doing more, I mean, I think this is just for maintenance. Like fixing if some car hits it, we gotta change a rail or something.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha. It's not for adding new sections.
I don't think it's, no.
Okay.
That's certainly not a number that would add much.
I don't know when we've last added guardrails. I mean, you have to contract it out, right?
Yeah.
To the guardrail company.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, we gotta have a hammer to drive the post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a truck that has a hammer on it. And then, yeah, so no, we would have to.
So which places do you think are the worst?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, anywhere there's water or a drop off, some places have both. Like I think the place you're talking about is on Cape Brook where we hardened that last summer. Bank. I mean, to put in new rails, I mean, that's going to be a substantial number. It's going to change your budget quite a bit.
I mean, you talking 10,000 or
I
40,000?
think to start, I would do 10.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 would be, a good starting number for adding more.
Yeah.
Could do a few every year.
You could do a few every year. I mean, I think guardrails are important. I think it provides a lot of safety for our traveling public and also mediates the road in some spots where there's a brook or a drop off. So I think if we want to add more guardrails, it's at least 10,000.
But it sounds like that might be a separate line item, or that,
Well, it's already in here as a line item. We just haven't used it lately. Guardrail installation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of our grant work also pays for guardrails.
Oh,
If we're doing a culvert or something, like those bridges that we're gonna do, we'll have to pay for guardrails. That's gonna be included in.
So do you want to, what's everybody's feeling about guardrails and,
Well, yeah, I mean, this is more than just a budget discussion. It's the discussion of whether or not we want to put more guardrails and where. So,
I mean, yeah, I've driven by that spot too, and it is kind of scary. Like, I think guardrails would be a good idea there.
the Cape Brook Road.
Yeah.
so we could commit to doing a few every year.
I mean, I could get an estimate,
Why don't you?
and then we kind of know how much 100 feet costs, 200 feet of guardrail costs.
That'd be great. Let's do that.
So should we leave this one blank for now and just wait to see the estimate?
Yeah, so in my past life, they were very fussy about guardrails.
Yeah.
And there's a big variation in guardrail pricing. You can buy second-hand used recycled
Yeah.
guardrail,
Yeah.
which has already been weathered and whatever, or you can buy the chemically dipped guardrail, which
Yeah.
is rusty from
Yeah.
the start. Or you can buy new, shiny. What's your preference?
Cheap.
Can you buy wood?
Keep people out of the ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, I really like the stuff that's already been used, it's already weathered.
Yeah.
I don't like the rust, the rust stuff, because it's already rusting. You know, I fought that with callus, and I fought it, and I fought it.
What's the idea is that it's gonna blend in more with the dirt or something?
It's more
or-
aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's more aesthetic, that's what.
Rusty is, okay.
Yeah.
Well, some people think shiny is aesthetic.
Yeah,
Right, so,
yeah. But
yeah.
I was fighting a battle there.
So the least expensive one is the used.
Right, recycled.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I'd
fine.
be inclined to go with that.
Yeah.
I won't care what kind of guardrail it is if it's keeping me out of the ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, the state always goes with the fancy, new, brand new shiny stuff, so.
Yeah. They got a bigger budget.
They sure do.
Stone.
Stone.
Stone, so that's like stone, like the stone that we put in the ditches when we clean them. I think we should probably leave that the same. Like I said, we didn't use much of it last year because of the FEMA. Fuel charges, that must be like surcharges?
Yeah, I don't think we need to do that. That's for, this company started
Just
putting extra charges tagging on stuff, but I don't know if they're still doing that.
maintenance class 4 roads.
That's for,
There's
yeah.
there's a topic to talk about.
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah, $4,000 doesn't do much work on class 4
No.
roads.
No, and,
I don't know where we want to be with that.
but I know, and that, well, there was a discussion a while ago about how much material, people were asking you to give them material and then they spread it out themselves and
Yeah.
all those interesting discussions could be had. $4,000 doesn't do much. Do you have any, some of the ones that, like the Nichols Pond Road out to the cliff there, that gets a lot of traffic,
Yeah.
but most of our class 4s don't.
No, that's right. And I mean, the work that we've done on the class 4s is really a drop in the bucket for the ones that we own
Yeah.
and have. Luckily, the work that we did do was paid for by FEMA. So I think, I personally like class 4 roads. I think they're an asset to the town. I think we should put as much in as we can within reason. So,
We should have, I mean, I've talked about this for a long time, having a class 4 policy. I mean, we got a lot of class 4 roads that are basically people's driveways.
right,
And at one point, at that point, how do you decide this person's driveway is
right,
Bill and this one doesn't? So, yeah, that's a whole,
right. I mean, we're on the hook for a bridge that's on a class 4 road.
yeah.
And I've heard plenty of gripes about that. But,
You tell him it's okay because he was paying.
well, I mean, right, this time we're off the hook, but
Yeah,
but if
could
it
be
wasn't a
worse.
FEMA project,
Yeah.
then it's gonna hurt our budget.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I agree, we should have a policy, so that everybody knows, everybody's aware, this is what we're doing, and that's what we have, you know.
What would that policy look like, though?
I don't have it with me, I guess, but somebody forwarded me a copy of a policy from Cabot that was interesting and made a lot of sense, but anyways, there's.
Did it address their class 4 roads?
Yeah, the class 4 road policy.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think all we have is that we're responsible for bridges and culverts.
Yeah, that's in the state statute.
And erosion, right?
But I think we're supposed to keep them, passable to whatever this,
Right.
not to put back to where they were class 3s, which they weren't. It's
Right.
just-
So we need to
anyway,
revisit this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think-
Think about that.
Yeah, if we can pull that policy up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the policy is one issue, the budget is another.
Right.
So
Right.
they're two different.
Yeah, but the policy kind of reflects what our responsibility is.
Yes.
We're not going out to Woodbury Mountain.
Can you, do you have a
Right.
physical copy of it, or is it
Do.
a digital copy?
It's just a physical copy, yeah.
I think it would be good for all of us to see it.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows where it is?
Yeah, I would like the policy too, just so that I have clarity as to how to determine where to put
Yeah.
gravel money or not put gravel money. You know.
Should we leave that one blank for now if we're gonna revisit
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Policy to come. So, we talked about increasing culvert sizes in specific locations, and you were able to, how many did you do? Like, quite a few.
Yeah, 6 yourself, 5 or 6.
But there's more to do, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you have a rough count of how many you'd like to tackle next year?
Well, we've got 2 on the county road that we're putting in for mitigation for FEMA,
Okay.
which has nothing to do with this, of course, but there's many out there that we should mitigate on our own
Yep.
without FEMA.
You got $30,000 here that you haven't spent. But I thought you went and bought a bunch of culverts recently. Those were all FEMA?
That might have happened in last year's budget.
That all comes out of.
Really? Okay, so all those new, yeah, okay.
Yep, yep. Yeah, so when Skip does the FEMA stuff, he pulls all the invoices for those culverts that were FEMA out, so it doesn't go into
Okay.
out of this line. And I think when we had our tax rate meeting, that's when we raised this. That's why it's 30,000.
No, I don't think so. Like I said before, I don't think we could raise anything that's in that budget column because that's the budget that was voted on. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just remember at that meeting, because we were trying to set the rate,
Yeah.
we raised gravel and we raised culverts.
We might have reduced it because we knew we weren't gonna have to spend it. I mean, that's possible, but I don't have
I
my
mean, at some point this
budget
was raised, it
folder.
used to be 10, now it's 30, so.
Well,
Yeah, I thought
true.
we did it at the last meeting, yeah.
So is 30,000 a reasonable number for the number of culverts that you might upsize next year?
Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
Okay.
But if you still got this $30,000 to spend before July 1st,
Before July, but I can buy them ahead.
I know, so would you still need another 30,000?
Oh, I see. I wish I had an answer for that. I mean, there's a lot of culverts. We have over 300 culverts in town.
Wow,
And the ones that I've been working on are nowhere near big enough.
yeah,
I mean, clearly, that's why our roads, obviously the flood was the flood, but it was, I think culverts are our friends when it comes to roads, because you can move the water and you can keep the road from being saturated, which is good in the spring when it's thawing. Anytime you can move water, it's helping the road. And we can revisit this. I mean,
Sure.
I think,
Put an asterisk
we can
next
keep
to
it
it.
the same and see where we end up. And if it's astronomical, we can revisit it.
okay, let's do that. 130, and then if we have to go back and pick away at things. Then this one I had questioned, because I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know what
Yeah, what
that
is that?
It's crazy.
It looks like a typo to me, but.
I know, but, yeah, I wish I had my town report here, but I don't think I have one.
Should we ask Randy about that one?
That's a Brandy question.
Yeah.
West Woodbury.
Are they still
As far
that's
as I
for them to
know,
plow?
I think so. Either I or somebody should be notifying them to just verify that and make sure, because we sign a contract every year,
Right.
and that's something that we should be doing right now.
Do you mind giving them a ring?
No.
Great.
So I think we thought it was gonna be 7, but it ended up being 6, as I recall.
Yes,
But we had budgeted for 7, and
negotiated. Yeah, I think the budget was in prior to my negotiation.
right, yeah,
So I will call him, I'm sure,
Yeah.
guessing it's probably gonna be the same.
yeah.
I was hearing rumors that they were not happy, they wanted more or something. So
Yeah.
I will call, Opie.
Opie.
Thank you. I'll call Opie and see, make sure that we're
Yeah.
on the same page with that.
Yeah. Okay, this,
Grants and aid, we did any last year.
Michael will take care of that. Oh, we're done.
That's it.
Do you know of any projects or grants that are planning to
Yes,
apply
yeah,
for?
I'm working with Michael for that.
Okay.
Yeah, some new ones we got. We got one brewing on King Pond Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by David Sawyer's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there was a grant before, many years ago, and it needs help again, so.
Oh,
Yeah, there'll be some. So I'm getting a quote for guardrails, and I'm calling Opie.
okay.
That's my homework there.
Thank you.
Well, and a wish list
Yeah.
for the garage.
Shop, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And
And for culverts and for.
checking out whether those bicycle signs got
Oh my God.
You have a lot of homework.
Please. I can't wait to see those guys. Take my spray gun. Vandalize them.
all right, that was, I don't know, is that productive in your experience?
What?
That?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
It's a stab.
I've never done it before.
The first stab at it.
Yeah. We're gonna come back to it, right?
Oh, yeah, we'll have to go over
I
everything.
thought it was productive. I mean, we got through most of it.
Felt productive to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other business before the board? We got to approve those things. Yeah, we can adjourn, though, right? Yeah.
Okay, motion to adjourn. I'll move to adjourn.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we adjourn at 8:17. Thank you, Jerome.